Strap yourself in. It's time for Tommy Paradise and DJ with The Run-In Podcast.
Hey, what do you say? It's The Run-In Podcast, episode number 124. My name is Tommy Paradise.
It's showtime, folks. It's your boy DJ here in parts unknown Walnut Creek.
Oh, man. How are those Wrestlemania plans coming? I have a big announcement in weekly purchases. You already know. A few members of the Fig Cave already know, but how are your Mania plans coming? Are you just sitting and waiting at this point for it to get here, or you still trying to nail some stuff down?
Well, because so this is kind of a different experience for me because I'm using the on location thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they have like some kind of itinerary with events for people that purchased with them. So I want to see what they have for, what are the things that we are privy to, and then kind of maneuver around those.
Yeah.
Because because I already paid them, so I might as well do everything that they have lined up.
Exactly. Still no info on Access, which is weird, man. I messaged our friend Steve Ozer, Action Figure Attack, on Instagram, and he said that WWE has something planned, but he can't get into it until they announce it. But I would think if we're less than a month away now, I would think if Access was happening, we would have some kind of info on it by now. But nothing, man. I'm wondering if they're going to do like they did the Royal Rumble. I know there was like a superstore deal where, you go into an exhibition hall or whatever, and there's merch you can buy. Right. And then there was like random stuff to that, like memorabilia and museum style stuff. I wonder if that's just what it's going to be. And Mattel will be there with a display and stuff. But
Please
do. Trying to figure out the rental car situation and just like nailing down the last few details here. Have you ever heard of Kite? Kyte?
Sounds kind of familiar.
I just found this out yesterday. I was like not Googling, but I was like looking for rental price cars. And last time I went to LA, we're getting into DJ and TJ and Tommy Paradise's travel tips here. But last time I went to LA, it was, I want to say it was 2018, I think, and maybe 17. And we rented a car, and we did it through Costco, which I've never had any issues with travel stuff through Costco.
Sure.
But what happened was we made the reservation. This is an episode of Seinfeld. We made the reservation. We got to the rental car place. Like they take you on a shuttle, and it's like around the block. And then we literally waited like 2 hours in line to get our rental car, maybe an hour and a half. Like it was some crazy amount of time that we waited. So I'm like, I kind of want to avoid that if we're going to rent a car this time. And Kite, I guess, is this service where you book a car through it, and then you meet them somewhere, like near where you're like, so basically I'm going to fly into LAX. If I book a car through them, they give you an Uber credit to Uber from the airport to their parking lot, and the car's there waiting for you, ready to go. And a guy takes a picture of your license, they take a picture of the car, and then you're good to go. Literally, like, so you don't have to wait in line. The car is ready, waiting for you. So I think we're going to try this. And it was only $180 for the 4 days that we're out there. So for like a Toyota Corolla or something. So don't need nothing fancy. Just need to get from point A to point B and sit in traffic for a while out there in LA. So
that's all you're doing.
Yeah.
It's just something that you feel comfortable sitting in traffic. That's exactly right.
Exactly. So I think we're going to pull the trigger on that.
Make sure the radio works. And
exactly. Exactly. So hotels booked, rental cars in progress, and then we'll get to some more stuff in weekly purchases. But the Run-In Podcast is brought to you by Figure Collections. Make sure you guys head over to shop.figurecollections.com. I messaged Jack for some updates this week. Nothing. He did not respond. But let's see here. Oh, here we go. Chelsea Green is expected to be shipped before the end of March. I think that's shipped to him. And Bone Crushing Wrestlers are expected to ship to the U.S. Next week. This was last week. So he should get them, or they should be shipping here this week, and they should begin to customers before the end of March. So if you pre-ordered those those bone crushing wrestlers, they're coming, man. They're coming. So, how's everything else going? Getting situated there, man, in that new apartment?
Oh yeah, getting situated. Been getting some gigs lately, like so, hosting trivia. The place that I host trivia at likes the work that I do, so I've been hosting like bingo.
Oh, nice.
Tonight I DJ comedy. I'm gonna DJ for a comedy show. So getting some freelance work here. Yeah,
that WrestleMania. So, getting some WrestleMania money here.
That's exactly what's going on. I'm not turning down nothing. Like yes.
Yeah. Speaking of WrestleMania and our road to WrestleMania, let's get into it. Let's talk wrestling here. In the ring this week in wrestling and news, we're on the way to WrestleMania. We're also, don't let it slide under the rug here, we're on our way to AEW Revolution as well. But let's get into what happened in WWE this week. Man, we've been putting it out in the universe that we do not want this match to happen. And here we are, announced this week, Omos and Brock Lesnar. I assume this is the match we'll be meeting up during. Although I've only seen Brock Lesnar in person in a wrestling match once. It was in Money in the Bank when he won it in Hartford. And that was the only time I've ever seen him. So like part of me wants to see him in action, but at the same time, I'm like, do I really want to watch this match?
Well, I mean, like you're saying, I went to 31 and saw, the heist of the century, quote unquote, with Brock and Roman. So yeah, I got mixed feeling. Like we might be meeting on the on the in the walking area for a beer on this one. The promenade. Yep. But let's see what happens though. Like, I mean, there's still a lot that can happen to this match. Like, some people might jump in. You got, so.
I was actually wondering, this might just be like wishful thinking, but I'm wondering, like, there's a lot of people that are not happy about this match, like fans. I wonder if there's enough backlash, if no pun intended, if they will actually change it. But it sounds like Vince actually pushed through this match through. I was all in, man, that Vince wasn't involved anymore. Like he was just kind of sitting back and waiting for that sale. And then there's rumors going around this week that he is the one who pushed for this and pushed it through.
Source, trust me, bro.
Yeah. It's obviously it's so hard to know, but I could definitely see this happening. Like I could see him doing this for sure, especially with the way things ended with Bobby Lashley. Like I feel like we're still owed one more Bobby Lashley. And
so that's what I mean. I still think Bobby Lashley is still hanging around. That didn't seem very. It wasn't. That feud definitely did not end with that match. The way that match ended. There's still you still had Bray messing around, right? So what if we had what if this turns into some kind of a crazy 4-way with almost Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, Bray Wyatt.
Maybe.
Which all 4 characters could actually use it.
Right.
Because now that's a match I'm sitting down for. Right. So if you give me that match, I'm sitting down. So because all four wrestlers could use that match. Like they like everybody can get their stuff in. It would be like it wouldn't really matter who won, because if you gave us a good match and just, give us some crashing through tables and barriers and stuff, and then we're happy.
Yep.
And each character gets a good Mania moment there. So, that's how I would turn it around.
I would just say fuck it, those guys, and give us Gunther and Brock.
I mean, and we do. I mean, that's the match we absolutely want, right? But I don't. It doesn't seem like it's gonna happen.
We did get a little tease on SmackDown, though. It looks like we might be getting Drew McIntyre. I feel like Sheamus is going to get involved, and Gunther there for the IC title. I could be in for that. I
can go for that. Yes.
I wouldn't hate that. It sucks, man. I wish one of my buddies that's actually going to Mania with me said it best, I think, where he's like, it's almost like they don't know what to do with Brock outside of the title picture. Like outside of the main title picture, it seems like they just don't know what to do with them. So,
yep. Because like, who's he gonna like? There's not too many people that are in the quote mid card that he wouldn't just go in and destroy, right? Because you already had him, like, say for example, just destroy Kofi,
right?
So anybody at Kofi's level, you've already made a precedent that he can just walk in there and destroy him.
Yep.
So now what do you do? Right. So I agree with him on that.
Which is unfortunate because like I want to see Brock do some other stuff besides the title picture. Like obviously we like Roman, but we need some new blood in there besides Brock and see what happens. But also we got some new WWE Women's Champions. Finally, we got to see Trish Stratus come out and help out Lita and Becky. A lot of people not liking this either, man. A lot of people are like, oh, this is all Vince here too. And it's like, no, I think this is to get ratings for Mania. I think this is 100% like Io Shirai and Dakota Kai are not selling tickets for WrestleMania.
No, they're not. Even though like people that have been following those two, we're there for it, but you still have a broader audience that did not watch NXT. So.
Right. And if you tell a casual fan, hey, Trish Stratus and Lita are going to be at WrestleMania, the front of their pants are going to get tight and they're going to be like, hey, all right, I'm going to watch, or I'm going to buy a ticket, So I think that's where that comes in. And you get this with Mania every year. I mean, there's even people saying this year that there is a lot of unhappy talent on the roster because there is
legend card
card. Yeah, there's not enough people or not enough spaces on the card. And it's like, well, this happens every year. Like, this isn't anything new.
No, it's not.
I actually had a list of people who are off the WrestleMania card as of right now. And
I know I did last year's card because there was 2 nights, and there was like just we can go a complete Mania that we saw last year. That was 2 nights, and you can make a list of who didn't make it last year,
right?
And it would surprise you. Like I think you'd be surprised at who was not in 2 nights of WrestleMania last year.
It's crazy. Listen to these names right now. As of right now, not booked so far: New Day, Street Profits, LA Knight, Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Sheamus, Alpha Academy, the Models, Vikings, the Viking Raider, Boogs, Elias, Shinsuke, and Solo Sikoa. I mean, he's probably going to be involved in the Usos, Kevin Owens deal. But it's crazy. I'm surprised, especially with how hot that Montez Ford was after Elimination Chamber, that like they got nothing for him right now. It's kind of weird. I'm still super excited. Don't get me wrong, but just super, super weird that they don't have anything planned for these for the Street Profits.
Yeah, I feel like so these next couple of weeks are going to be big. Like I would, now this is when you want to watch Raw and SmackDown, because these next 2 weeks, because now you have to start putting these nights together. Okay, yeah, you already sold your tickets.
Yeah.
Okay, like I heard Ric Flair even talking about this. Like, you already sold the tickets, so that's why they're not really worried about. The matchmaking part is probably the easy part now.
Right.
But don't sleep on that. Like, people have paid their hard-earned money. So now you need to entertain this audience for 2 nights. So those people that you named, like you said, you got people that got hot. Like, you got Montez Ford that got hot. LA Knight. Yeah. So so it's time. Like, it's time to start making the card. And how the dirt sheets are. Like, again, there's no source for that. There's no source for, it's gonna Triple H wants a short card, but it says who. Okay,
right.
The source, trust me, bro. So, so I need to let's see. Like, you know, I just it's fun to see these posts sometime, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, 90% of this never is always wrong.
Right.
So that's why I'm not really like, 2 nights of WrestleMania, he's got to fill the card. Like, he's not like, come on now. So these people will be in the ring. Like, I would say, like, most of the people you just named will be in the ring. I haven't seen Shinsuke in a while.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that same thing, and then I'm like, oh, he did a bunch of that stuff in Japan, but he hasn't been back since. So I'm actually wondering if they'll do like a one of those battle royal, like the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal to get these guys.
They don't need to have it on SmackDown this time.
All those cards, right?
Have it on the card,
right? Put it on the card, man. Put it on the pre-show. This thing starts at 7:30. But it doesn't go live on the network or on Peacock till like 8:00, right? So give us fans.
See, you're not used to this West Coast time thing. So.
No, man, I'm still thrown off all by it. I'm like, how are we landing there at 9:30 in the morning? But it's a 6-hour flight.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get there at 3 in the afternoon. The thing's gonna start at 4:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that though. I'm actually super excited for that.
Yeah, we'll have plenty of time. Like both nights, we'll have plenty of time to go to dinner, and it won't be late at night.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time, man. It is gonna be a good time. I cannot wait. AEW Revolution right around the corner here. It's this weekend. We're gonna do something. I think we're gonna do another run in Rumble. I threw this idea out there yesterday. Run in Rumble with 2K19, where there is enough people. I believe, I got to double check, but I believe there is enough people on that roster to do just AEW people. On the WWE 2K19, it's like Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan, Chris Jericho, going down Matt Hardy. Like Jeff Hardy. They're all on that roster. I think we could actually do a 2K19 Royal Rumble of all guys that are just in AEW. Sting in AEW right now. So stay tuned to Patreon, our social media. Find out what we're going to do. I might even do, or we might even throw together another pick'em as well. We'll see what happens with all that. But Revolution, man, good go home show for Dynamite last night. I thought, with the exception, I got a couple of weird things threw me off. It's like you got Orange Cassidy in this match where he retains his championship against
their version of the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, against Big Bill. And which still he'll always be just what's his name? I can't even think of his name now. Big Cass to me, but
and you can't teach that.
So Cassidy retains his title, and then later on in the show, him and Danhausen win the Battle Royal to be into the tag team championship match. It's like, all right, you guys have so many guys on this roster that you're not using, and you're gonna have Orange Cassidy double dip on Revolution. I'm lost here on why that.
Oh, that's why you have people quitting. In his own quotes, like that's why he's quitting. It's like, dude, so we can, we name all the people that are in catering all the time on this show. Like,
are you talking about Eddie Kingston quitting?
Yes.
You think that's a shoot, or you think that's kayfabe? Because
it's a good question.
AEW posted it on their social media.
Oh,
so,
then yeah.
So to me, if they're posting it on their social media, then it's kayfabe. He's not actually quitting.
Yeah. But he did but you know how sometimes good promos have a little bit of truth in it, right? And I think he is. I think in Shoot he is pissed off that wait, you have guys coming out here 3-4 times a night, and then you got really good, really talented people sitting and catering. So for AEW, come on, man. There's some they throw people. There's people that they throw. I mean, we just had Evil Ono in a main event. Yeah, I mean, good for Evil Ono, but come on, man. There are people that we haven't seen for months that are a whole tiers above Evil Ono.
Couldn't you argue though that he's one of those guys that nobody's seen for a while, and they put on the rock like they're using him, or they.
I don't even see I hardly see him as a wrestler, to be honest with you. I think he's a manager. So that's how I see him.
A lot of people body shaming him when he took his shirt off.
That was not cool. Like,
no, that's not cool at all.
Yeah, but dude is again, it's like it's for me, it's almost like Paulie dangerously being in the main event of a WCW Saturday night. That's what that felt like to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so so again, one of my. I was gonna put in my winners and losers, but I picked something else. Was gonna be the Dave Metzler picking TK as the Booker of the Year.
Oh, I didn't even put that in the notes. Yeah, we got to talk about that,
dude. It's just like that was. It's like, so if you don't lose credibility on that, I don't know. Like that was like one of the worst years of booking I've seen in a long time.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, and to say he's Booker of the Year just because you don't like anything WWE is insane. Okay.
Yeah.
That's insane. So, and then to go with, like, I've seen people, I've seen posts of people making fun of this, and then you have people defending it in the comments. Like you have, the IWC, coming in and defending. I'm like, how do you defend this? His booking has it to where he can't get 1 million viewers on his flag show. We don't even want to talk about Rampage. Like, people get more views on TikTok than Rampage.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. That Rampage is down 40% in the ratings, which is insane. But let's talk about some of the good though. With Dynamite last night, besides the giant Fruit Loop that they have to grab. I thought the referees
holding the
referees holding the ladder, which, come on, man. Like, who do you have running your production behind the scenes, man? Like, that's
because it's like now, because I guess what took away from that match, besides like we had another, our boy Sammy, he had another big botch. And I think he probably hurt himself on that one.
Yeah.
But I think it was a little bit on the guy too. But it's like, but you could tell who's going to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you see this guy going for the ring, and it's like he's not going to win. The referees aren't holding the ladder.
Right.
So it's like it kind of takes away from the match. It's like there's no suspense for me. Like it's okay.
I hate Kevin Dunn in WWE, but you would never see that in WWE, or if you did, it would be an accident. Like it wouldn't be as obvious in WWE, or they cut away from it quick. It's like you have all the refs' hands up, like even like zoom in, man. Tell your cameraman do the work. It's all sleight of hand, man. It's all magic. You got to make it. You got to make it happen. But Powerhouse Hobbs gets that. I like the idea of it being the brass ring as like kind of like a little jab at WWE. I do like that, but they got it just looks so stupid up there. Like, and it's huge. The fucking thing is huge. Make it smaller.
Then you can get it. Then he could grab it easier,
right? Or Sammy Guevara's legs aren't going to hit it as he's going off the ladder or whatever. But
yeah, and that kind of screwed him up too. Like I think they were trying to maneuver. Wait, this ring is in the way. What do we do?
Yep.
And it's too late. They're already in the middle of the move, and then bam, the back of his head hits the ladder.
Yep. And then we saw I think the thing that stole the show last night was Daniel Bryan's, or I'm going to call him Daniel Bryan probably forever, but Bryan Danielson's promo and like literally shutting up MJF. I think that's a perfect way to go into a main event match with, especially a 60-minute Iron Man match with MJF, is you shut him up and have him speechless at the end of the go home show. Like, say what you will about AEW sucking lately. I think that is a great way to end a go home show, is you have the loudest mouthpiece on your roster speechless before we go into the pay-per-view.
And then let's see, like, I guess going into the pay-per-view here, like one thing that I guess, because how, like, the way I feel about titles, like I just don't think they should change hands so many times.
Yeah,
that's just me.
Yep.
I feel like the title is going to change hands again.
Yep.
And then, so for people that I noticed some folks that are watching the show, and that's what they want to see. Like, they want to see like all these people. It's like, okay, so when after half the roster has been world champion, then
Right.
what is the value of the championship then?
Right. It's kind of like the whole thing with
question.
the Intercontinental title with WWE is like, it seems like the value of that title has gone away, and not everybody has held it, but like it just doesn't have the same lure as it used to. Piper, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Mr. Perfect, Rick Rude, like all these legends who had it at one point, Ultimate Warrior, Macho, right, going up the ladder.
Yep.
And now it's like we'll just put this on somebody for a little bit here while we run through the moves, run through the motions. That's what I'm looking for. But
right. Because give Honky Tonk Man his credit. Like, he was
he's the greatest Intercontinental champion of all time, according to him.
I mean, damn near as long as Hogan had the world title. Like, damn near, right?
Long time.
But it was a thing for him to lose it. Like, so that was like, because you were building the Ultimate Warrior like that was like the way that had to happen, almost like for him to run in there and run him over, like, basically, because but you got the pop from it because of how long and the way Honky Tonk Man was just clutch that title.
Yep.
Macho could, like, Rick, that match at WrestleMania 3 doesn't have the excitement and the emotion to it if it wasn't for Macho,
right,
holding on to the title like that. And I can go on, like, like you're saying, like we're trying to make a point here, man. Champions, like, I don't care what title, it should be like a boss in a good video game.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you've said that before. Yep.
Yeah, it should be hard for people to win titles, and everybody should not have one.
I agree, 100%. I agree on that, and that brings us to our predictions, because running down this card, man, there is so many titles on the line. A lot of 2-point matches
because they got so many titles. That's the thing.
And every match has a gimmick. It's either a title match or has a gimmick. So, like, starting out, we got Christian Cage and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. That's a no hold bars match. The two matches that are not title matches. Oh no, I'm sorry, because the only match that is not a gimmick match is Jericho and Ricky Starks. But the Jericho Appreciation Society is barred from ringside. So, I mean, there is a little bit of a stipulation there, but
like, they're not going to show up. But yeah,
everything else is a no holds barred match, Texas Death Match, tag team title match. Like, it's just everything has a gimmick to it. It's like I'm playing WWE 2K, man. But let me
customize this match.
Exactly. Let's get into our picks. You're the champ. You get to start things out. First thing on the card is Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry in a no holds barred match. Woo! Who you got?
I'm gonna go Jungle Boy. I think they're still trying to develop this character, and he's supposed to be one of the pillars.
Yep.
So this is like their way of it's their way of toughening up the character, I think, a little bit. Besides the little jungle guy, like, now they want to show that he can be tough.
Yep, I agree with you. I can't say that I can confidently pick Christian. I'm going Jungle Boy as well. Next match, we got the Elite, the House of Black. Oh, the Elite versus House of Black. I thought there was more for some reason. That is a 6-man tag match for the Trios World Tag Team Champion. So 2 points on this one. I'm gonna go. This is another one where I think we got a title change here. I think it's gonna be House of Black, because I think they're building them as well. I think they're kind of gonna be the next big. I mean, they already kind of are, but like the next big faction in AEW.
Yeah, I kind of have to go. Yeah, I got to go House of Black on this too. Because it's like, yeah, it's time for the, like, if you want this faction to mean something, and like there's a big deal about this faction. So if you want them to do something, here it is. Like, now you got them on the stage going against the Elite. 6-man title, so let's see it.
Yep. All right. Then we got let's see here. We got next match. Jamie Hayter versus Saraya versus Ruby Soho for the AEW Women's World Championship. That is a 3-way dance. Man. They put it on Saraya? I think they do. I mean, you have her come back. Why not?
You know what? I'm gonna go Ruby.
All right. Oh, I don't like that, but
I just like the way, the way that they've been, building this up. Like every time that they, Ruby's like caught in the middle, every time, and then like she comes in last night, and they had she comes in for the save last night, and there's a huge pop.
Yep.
So, the way TK does things, whoa, she got a pop. I think she's popular. I think we should put the title on her. That I can see it happening. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. Then we got Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks. This is probably the bathroom match. I would say that's my guess, but this is also the only match, as we talked about, without a stipulation. Who you got in this one?
I think we continue the Ricky Starks push here.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yep. It's like, if you're not going to build Ricky Starks, what are you doing? I just feel like he's kind of like Sammy Guevara, where eventually, and Darby Allin, where I feel like eventually these guys are the next stars of the company. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm all in on Ricky Starks. And then the next match for the TNT Championship, it's Wardlow and Samoa Joe. Another one, man, where I want them to build this guy. I want Wardlow to get that title back. It's like, you have this powerhouse, this beast. Let him run rampant. Get that title back and just start beating the shit out of everybody.
Exactly.
You going Wardlow as well then?
No, I'm gonna say
you're gonna go Joe?
Yeah, I think Joe retains here.
He's also in WWE 2K19 and can be part of the Run and Rumble. That's exclusive, by the way, only to Patreons.
Joe.
All right, next match, Jon Moxley versus Adam Hangman Page in a Texas death match. What are the odds that Mox bleeds?
That should be on one of those
prop bet.
Prop bets, or take a shot if, and
oh yeah, bingo card.
Yeah.
This is not a title match, but it is a gimmick match. It's your pick first on this one.
I'm going with the Cowboy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Mox, just in the interest of, I feel like this is his kind of match.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna bleed all over the place and then get himself back in the title picture somehow, I think. Which I don't love that idea, but I just feel like that's what they're gonna end up doing. And then we got a 4-way for the AEW Tag Team Championship. The Guns, the Acclaimed, Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, and Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. So wait a minute. I'm looking at the card here. You're telling me that Powerhouse Hobbs won that brass ring last night, and he's not even on the card for this pay-per-view?
No, he gets to cash that in to whoever wins the TV titles.
Okay. All right. All right. Jade's not on this card either, by the way. Speaking of TV titles, but all right, back to this match. I'm going to go with, man, this is a tough one. It's not going to be Orange Cassidy and Danhausen or Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. I will tell you that. So it comes down to the Acclaimed and the Guns. I got to go, just because of the way AEW does things, I got to go with the Acclaimed.
Yeah, that's wow. You're thinking exactly. I think we're kind of in lockstep here. Yeah, I just kind of feel like, again, just like how people, it's funny how people, when they think WWE's making a bad idea with booking, they say, "Oh, that's Vince." right? When I see something like that's just doesn't make a lot of sense in AEW, well,
Yeah.
at least I mean, I guess it's kind of a fact that it's TK, right?
Right.
So, and then so just thinking how he I've heard enough interviews and everything with this guy to where I can see him saying, "Hey, how about we have them have the Acclaim lose like on a random episode of Dynamite, and then we'll get that pop again when we get to the pay-per-view and they win it again at a pay-per-view." That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like he's going for, and yeah, so I think the Acclaim wins it again because just for the sake of winning it at at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Why not just have them defend it? But hey, that's
Yep.
that, don't ask questions.
And then the last match we have on the card is the main event that we were just talking about. It is MJF, Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Championship in a 60-minute Iron Man match. Who you got? Oh, wait. Oh, no, it is your turn. My bad.
No worries. Yeah, I'm going with Bryan.
I'm going MJF, actually. I think that MJF is going to find a way somehow to win this, is basically what I'm going to get at. He is the face of it's hard to have a heel as the face of the company, but I think he is what you want right now with a heel champ. He is the guy. He is the one who should have this belt. All that being said, I'm probably wrong because it seems like that's all what makes sense.
Right.
AEW doesn't always do what makes sense, but I'm going MJF.
Yeah, no, so that's exactly why I'm going with Daniel. Like, I just feel like most of the people that are AEW fans, and the way I got this idea was even going on the show I went on to debate, and and the love of Daniel Bryan came up in the debate. And how a lot of IWC fans, they this is the man. Daniel Bryan is the man. So for him not to ever they will they will I think they'll lose a lot of their audience if he doesn't win this match.
Okay.
And you see most of them don't care how many times a title gets changed hands. It's just I just want to see the guy that I want to see be the world champion.
Right, sure.
So, which is, again, I think I don't think they realize, okay, when you do that, then what happens next? So, okay, you saw that guy win the title. When MJF won on Twitter, I saw people already going, okay, now the person that's going to take it from MJF is this guy. They're not even celebrating that he won. They're like, okay, so the next champion is going to be this guy.
Yeah.
So you see what I mean? So which is insane to me. But hey, so yeah, that's why I think Danielson wins this thing. Even though what you said makes sense. Like what you said, that's how you would run a coherent wrestling business. But that's not what I don't think that's what we're dealing with here.
Yeah. All right. Those are our picks. Just a couple other things to note. King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring going to be in Saudi Arabia this year. And then NXT has its smallest audience of the year. I feel like NXT has definitely lost its mojo here for a little while and needs to get something going again. Even having these guys go down the New Day, Jinder Mahal, guys that are down there, kind of putting the work in with these younger guys. They need to do something else though. Something, I don't know if they need to change the logo again and go back to black and gold, I know they kind of are doing that, but I don't know what they got to do. If you just got to give it some time, but I feel like people have lost their interest in NXT, myself included. I've not watched I've actually watched more AEW lately than NXT, and I was all in NXT for a while there. So what peaks and valleys like we talk about with wrestling. So one last thing we want to touch on before we get into our winners and losers and our buy and sell for this week. We got to talk about Dave Meltzer and his Wrestling Observer Award winners. We don't have to go through every single one, but we can talk about how unbiased he is. Wrestler of the Year, Jon Moxley. Most Outstanding Wrestler, Will Ospreay. Tag Team of the Year, FTR. Best Interview, MJF. Promotion of the Year, AEW. Best Weekly TV Show, AEW Dynamite. Pro Wrestling Match of the Year, Okada and Will Ospreay. Category B, awards saw winners determined by first place votes. MVP, Jon Moxley. Yeah, all these awards. Best Booker, we talked about Tony Khan. Promoter of the Year, Tony Khan. The only ones to get worst promotion of the year, WWE. Worst feud of the year, The Miz versus Dexter Lumis. Worst match of the year, Pat McAfee versus Vince McMahon. Worst television show, WWE Raw. So don't come to us. I know, DJ, I know you agree with me, and say that Meltzer is unbiased. Because literally every positive category was AEW.
Right.
Every
on the show that doesn't get like people are not don't watch that show as much as what everything that he just listed.
Yep.
That was a WrestleMania moment that he just said was one of the worst things of the year.
Yep.
Okay, after that match, Stone Cold comes out and you know, and the crowd goes crazy of him stunning everybody while he's drinking beer. So it's like, so that was actually one of the more fun things that happened for wrestling in the whole year. And you just said it was the worst thing.
Right.
So, you know, so again, you could just see like Moxley is the performer of the year. I can just stop there. Like, come on, man. Moxley was the performer of the year.
Yeah.
Moxley is like, he's out there bleeding against local talent on TV every week.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, he did bleed a lot, but just Dave Meltzer's a fucking joke. He is such a joke. Anyway, we had to touch on that, but let's get to our winners and losers of the week. My winner is Daniel Bryan because he cut that Bryan Danielson. Sorry, he cut that promo and left MJF speechless. My loser of the week is Brock Lesnar because he has to fight Omos at WrestleMania. I mean, he doesn't care. I'm sure he's gonna get a paycheck and be perfectly fine about it.
Supposedly, he okayed because he gets the okay.
Yeah.
So like again, if you believe everything you read, he supposedly okayed this. So
yep. Right. What
winners and losers?
Yeah.
So I had
what are your winners and losers? There you go.
Yeah. Powerhouse Hobbs were the winner. Even though we don't like how they do ladder matches, but he wins it right here, and that was here in the Cow Palace. If I wasn't going to WrestleMania, I probably would have gone to this Dynamite. And that's right here where he was in the Independence here in the Bay. So for him to win it here was a big deal. Loser is Chris Jericho. I was just watching that match. I was just watching him wrestle, and I think it's over. It's like, dude, get out of the ring. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is one of those. I said what I said. He should not wrestle anymore. I'm just gonna say it now. It looks horrible.
But okay, hold on. Can I back you up there for a second?
Sure.
If Sting is still wrestling,
I don't like when Sting wrestles.
Okay, fair enough.
He should be a manager and not be in a match.
That's where I was going to go with the Jericho thing. He should just be a manager. He should be a mouthpiece because he is great on the microphone.
Sure.
But he should definitely be just a mouthpiece.
Yeah. No, I will. No, Sting is almost 70 years old. He should not be members of a match. Okay. He should be if it's I could understand the recorded ones and the stampede matches where everybody's just kind of fighting all over the arena, but not Jericho's in a match, right? It's he should not have a place on this card. With all the people. So think about everybody that's not on, so just like we were talking about WrestleMania, the people we haven't seen for months. And the people that are not on this card, and you have Chris Jericho on this card, and he's gonna do that stupid back elbow.
Yep.
And I'm probably next week. I'm probably gonna be like, yeah. So again, a spinning back elbow ends this guy's run. This guy's push. so, dude, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. Like, even if you're a Chris Jericho fan, you have to admit, if you don't believe me, just go back and watch the thing last night, and be really like, put your Chris Jericho fan aside. And just say, okay, you're just a regular person. You tuned into this and you saw this guy walk down in the ring and have a match, and the match that he had. What do you think? And it looks bad. It does.
Yeah.
It should not be wrestling.
Yep. I agree. All right, that brings us to our buy sell. Speaking of Jericho, he says he has no interest in going back to WWE. He said he has like a piece in the puzzle or something like that. But I still say that he would go back if that paycheck was right.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, and if he got to do, I think it's paycheck and then let me be in charge of my own creative kind of thing.
Yep.
Because I do have a feeling that he's got to win when he wants to win, or it's no deal. Like, I kind of have that feeling about him as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like he would go back in a second. He's almost like, I don't want to say he's as bad as Jarrett going back and forth, but like, he's wrestled in almost every promotion. Actually, he hasn't wrestled in Impact. He's wrestled in almost every major promotion. So, New Japan, WWE, AEW. I'm selling the fact that he would not go back. I think he's just saying that, or especially right now, where like AEW is kind of like the opinion of AEW with wrestlers is kind of in the toilet. I think, like, where people are just like, meh, it's all right. I think he would definitely, he's just feeding to the audience there.
Right. Yeah, no, he's feeding to that. Like, he just wants to still keep his street cred with the IWC. That's basically what this statement is. I sell it like all the way.
Yep.
If everything was right, he would put that damn jacket with all the lights on it back on.
Pull out his pen.
And pull out the pen. So nah, yeah. So,
who do you got what do you got for your buy sell?
That Brock nixed the idea of a Bray Wyatt match.
I'm curious what you think about this. Are you buying or selling it?
Oh, this is a tough one. Because just like we just said, so Brock, allegedly has control over this, over who he goes against. And I don't maybe there is a because Brock did not show, they didn't even get a chance, really. Like, you could tell, like, that match was very rushed so he hasn't gotten a chance to show a whole lot, really. So so maybe Brock was like, I don't think he's ready. Let me get somebody else. So I can buy it just on that. Because Brock is like, hey, I'm not gonna go out there and have a sloppy match. It's not gonna happen. So or at least in his mind, right? Like, somebody that's not ready and not in shape to do it. So so yeah, unfortunately, Bray has not been able to really make a good, have just like a good, give me good 10-15 minute match. It just hasn't happened yet. So
yeah, I could buy this as well. I could buy him not understanding the Bray character because he's so old school. I could definitely see him just being like, nah, fuck that guy. I'm not doing that. So, and then they're like, well, pal, here you go.
Right.
Enjoy this shit sandwich you're going to have at WrestleMania.
Well, at least they didn't bring your boy. They didn't bring the Berg out there.
Fuck that. I might cancel my flight if they did that. All right, let's pay some bills. All right, guys. Housekeeping here. We got a lot of housekeeping actually to get to you. Housekeeping is brought to you by Homage, by the way. Head over to our website, runinpod.com. Click on deals in the links and click right on that Homage link. And man, I'm telling you, we have some. Actually, we'll talk about it right now. Fuck it. I was going to say we'll tease it, but we're going to be at Wrestlemania. Obviously, Homage is hooking up me and DJ up. We're going to be walking around with some shirts from Homage to give to you guys. What you got to do, we're going to have some trivia, some Wrestlemania trivia that we're going to be doing in the parking lots. We're going to we'll find a few of you guys, we'll track you down. We're going to put it on video. If you're wearing an Homage shirt as well, we want to snap your pic for Homage. Homage is asking us to grab some content while we're there. So we will be there with Homage for Wrestlemania. So make sure if you see myself or DJ, you flag us down and we'll try to hook you up with some trivia and see if how good you are with your Wrestlemania knowledge. Now on to the Homage website. WWE section has been restocked. So all their WWE stuff is in stock right now. They're celebrating Women's History Month with some WNBA shirts, a whole bunch of stuff, League of Their Own, all kinds of women's stuff. All American Girls Professional Baseball League. There's some new NBA stuff up there, some new pop culture. MLB season right around the corner. There is going to be some new MLB stuff on the site very soon as well. So stay to that. We'll update you through Patreon with what's new in the world of Homage. But you guys, if you've never bought from them before, make sure you do so. And you can use the code RUNINPOD for 15% off your first order. They have a rewards program just like our friends over at Wrestling Collector Shop. So dive in head first to Homage. Best t-shirts, best clothing you will ever purchase. I promise you that. We are, speaking of Wrestlemania, we are going to do a Wrestlemania bracket here. We're working with our good buddy Mike Lanham. We put a poll up in the Fig Cave to eliminate some of the junk WrestleManias. What we're going to do is we're going to put a bracket up of 32 out of the 38 WrestleManias. Like I said, we eliminated some of the garbage ones, and we will, honestly, if you think about it, 1 and 2 are not that good. Especially 2, man. 2, we'll get into it as our brackets progress, but man, there's just 11 right here in Hartford.
They tried something too big for the time for WrestleMania 2. I see where his mind was with that, but it just didn't. They weren't ready. We weren't. Yep. The technology wasn't ready for. Yeah, 1 is just it's just nostalgic kind of a thing.
Yep. Yeah, okay, it's the first one. It's I get. Oh, I get it. I get it.
So so from us being where we are now to look back, of course, go look at the halftime show of the first Super Bowl.
Right.
For example, that I still wouldn't throw. I don't. It's going to get eliminated if it's in the bracket, but it's just a nostalgia.
Yep. So stay tuned for that. Also. This week's giveaway was a WrestleMania. What the hell am I talking about? It was an Elite 99 Brock Lesnar, courtesy of Wrestling Collector Shop. Let me switch over to my to the Run In Podcast Instagram and Twitter, and we will pick a winner of who is going to get that. All we needed you to do was send us a code word. And the code word was Chamber. And our winner this week is Stephen Odette. He just he won something else too, he bought something from me. That's what it was. Stephen Odette. He is our winner of the Brock Lesnar. Exactly. Elite 99. He will get that. I'll get that shipped out to you, buddy, this week. And we're going to do the same thing this week. I've got a Dewdrop Elite. I believe it's from the same series, Elite 99 over there. All you got to do is send us the code word Revolution. Revolution. That's right. We're going to do an AEW code word for a WWE figure. And so Revolution is the keyword this week. Send us that through Instagram or Twitter, and we'll pick one lucky winner next week for that. Again, stay tuned to our social media to find out what we're doing for giveaways for Revolution. I think I keep going back and forth whether we're going to do a pick'em or a run and rumble. I think we're just going to stick with the run and rumble for this time, and we'll save some big stuff for WrestleMania. So we'll do a pick'em for WrestleMania. And then, of course, we want you guys to jump over onto Patreon. It's patreon.com/runinpod. 3 different tiers for you guys to choose from: $1, $5, $10, all different tiers. I'm not going to get into every single one of them because I repeat them every week, but you can get all the info over at runinpod or patreon.com/runinpod. We just did a giveaway there for a $50 gift card to Wrestling Collector Shop. That was Alan Kilberg won that. That dude has also been on fire with giveaways. He won our Run and Rumble. He won something else, and then he just won this. So you could be as lucky as him if you're signing up for Patreon.
You guys better sign up, or he's going to win everything.
That's right. Then we've got this month's Patreon giveaway. Every month we're doing a different giveaway in Patreon, and this month, courtesy of Figure Collections, he's hooking us up with one of those Cella Epic Toys, Wrestling Trader, whatever you call them, but it's a Figure Collections exclusive Luna Vachon retro figure. So the thing is sick too. Definitely want to get in on that. And here's what we're going to do. If you want any extra entries, all you got to do is show us that you made a purchase from Homage, Figure Collections, or Wrestling Collector Shop, our sponsors. Send us between now and the end of March. Send us a screenshot of your order, and we'll give you an extra entry. And just like last month, if you upgrade your tier from $1 to $5, we'll give you 1 extra tier. If you go from 5 to 10, we'll give you 2 extra entries in that giveaway. So if that's something that you really want, do it. I've got an unboxing I got to post up on there. Again, if you're in the Patreon, you get first access to the Run and Rumble and all kinds of other good stuff on there as well. You guys can check out everything you need in the world of the Run and Pod over at runinpod.com. And do yourself a favor. Spring is coming. You need some new clothes. Head over to merch.runinpod.com. Grab a shirt, grab a hoodie, grab a mug, whatever you need. It's over there. And now it's time for Falls Count Anywhere.
Falls Count Anywhere here. Falls Count Anywhere. They are going everywhere. Look at this. This is Falls Count Anywhere.
Falls Count Anywhere is brought to you by Wrestling Collector Shop. We've talked about them a little bit already today, but Wrestling Collector Shop is the place to go for your wrestling figure needs. They've got a whole bunch of pre-orders up there now, including Elite Series 102, which is Elite Series 102 is I'm pulling it up right now. It is Gunther. It is Mick Foley as the commissioner. It is Edge. It is Sami Zayn with the mousetrap. It is Austin Theory, the regular and the chase, and Rhea Ripley. You guys can grab those now. Use the code RUN10 to save 10%, or if you spend $50, you can use the code RUNIN and get free shipping at Wrestling Collector Shop. They also have Ultimate Edition Series 17. That is Andre the Giant and Seth freaking Rollins up for pre-order up there as well. They ship sometime in May. They've got the SummerSlam Elites up there. Top Talent 2023. That is Roman Reigns, The Rock, and Jimmy Uso. Weird that Jimmy Uso is in the Top Talent, but Jay Uso is not. Just saying. But they did say that they're going to have Ultimate Edition 16 in stock any day now. So by the time you're listening to this, you may have already gotten a shipping confirmation for that. So Wrestling Collector Shop, your one-stop shop for all your wrestling figure needs. Run 10 saves you 10%, and Run In gets you free shipping on anything over 50 doll hairs. All right. Mattel Creations, Jake the Snake, and Ravishing Rick Rude Coliseum collections went up for pre-order this yesterday, Wednesday of this week. Did you grab either one of these? Or are you still in like rubber band, throw the wallet in the freezer and ice, like I've seen this trick before where if you don't want to spend money, you put your credit cards in a cup of water and you throw that cup of water in the freezer so you can't get to them. You still in, penny pinching mode for Mania, so you're not buying anything?
That's exactly what's happening. And I'm kind of like, I'm kind of holding out hope as well that like Mattel has like some kind of thing at Access.
Yeah, grab these in person.
Yeah, or whatever I want in person, you know.
Right. These are the Mattel Creations exclusives. So if you're waiting on these though, the Mattel Creation stuff has not been selling out very fast. So
no, they haven't. So
if you're playing the long game on these, you might be okay. I did grab them only because Jake the Snake is going to be in the area here in May. So I'm going to have him sign that, I think, if it's here in time. And I love Ravishing Rick Rude, one of my favorites of all time. And friend of the show, Dan Christensen, actually asked me to be in his wedding, and he gifted me Series 1 with Terry Funk and Hulk Hogan as like groomsman gift along with the No Holds Barred set. So I figured I actually like this collection a lot. And so I was like, all right, Series 2, I'm going to grab that as well. So I did pre-order those. Zombie Sailor throwing some shade here over at Hastel Toys and Gimmicks and Grapplers. There is a war brewing, folks, in the retro wrestling figure world. Zombie Sailor announced this week that he is doing an Ahmed Johnson or Tony Norris, whatever you want to call him,
right?
Retro, as is Hastel Toy, Grapplers and Gimmicks. I'm just kind of sitting back and laughing at all of this right now. Like, there's so many retro companies out there, like Rush Collectibles, Chella, well, whatever it is now, Wrestling Trader, Epic Toys, whatever you want to call them now. I said to Jack, I'm like, man, I'm so glad you're getting out of the retros and you're going your own way with the Bone Crushers. I just think that's such a smart way to go with how many retro lines are out there right now. And then you get these two making the same guy. It just makes you go, WTF, man. But
and then how many people? It's like they're doing the same. And then how many people want this?
Right. I said in our group chat, I'm like, well, if you're gonna have Tony Norris, Ahmed Johnson, whatever you want to call him, why not do? He's already teased the Jeff Jarrett and the Brian Pillman 6-inch figures.
Mm-hmm.
Why not do that if Hastel and Grapplers and Gimmicks is already doing the retro? Like, if it was me, I would have just went the opposite direction and said, you know what, you have that. I'm going to make a 6-inch figure. I feel like more people would want the 6-inch figure.
Exactly.
To be honest.
And then, I mean, just the character layer. Are there people really clamoring for Ahmed Johnson?
I think he's a missing piece that we haven't gotten from WWE for that new gen era.
Okay.
I know you're a little bit older, and that's not a dig, but the new gen, I think he's a former Intercontinental champion. If Ken Shamrock's got figures, why not? Why not Ahmed Johnson?
So of course I was watching with Ahmed Johnson. I just, I guess I just wasn't that impressed. Like he just never, he sounded like he was eating marshmallows while he was talking. And like go look at his promo when for the video game when for the WWF video game back then, and see if you can make out what he's saying without any closed captioning.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, if the Goon has a figure, then I think I'm about
to say, then I guess you gotta,
and then you gotta have Ahmed Johnson.
Like Bash and Booger.
I would love a Bash and Burger figure. That whole era, the Mantor. I mean, 1, 2, 3 Kid. That's that whole. I mean, I know we have a 1, 2, 3 Kid. I'm just saying, like that whole era. To be honest with you, is phenomenal.
It's hilarious, but
they're all so toyetic too. And then speaking of the retros, Hastel Toy showed off his Savio Vega, which looks all right. I don't want to be mean. It doesn't look great. It looks like a 4-year-old painted it. I'm sorry, but
Savio.
It's one of those things where it's like you want these to not be perfect because they are supposed to be like the retros or the Hasbros. But at the same time, it's like this is really bad. I thought it looked really bad. So to each his own, though. If people want it and people grab it, Whatever.
There's some Savio people out there.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. -1 is getting a micro brawler. Whatever. You can also order Greg the Hammer Valentine retro.
Like this is like going to his like all these figures and stuff.
Oh, this kid's not gonna have to pay for college.
Yeah, that's where I was going. I was like, hopefully they got like a college fund or something going with these figures.
You can order Greg the Hammer Valentine through the retro, which is through Epic Toys, which is now Cella, through Asylum Wrestling Store. And then AEW announced the Brit and Jade Amazon 2-pack. This thing looks terrible, man. If you have not seen this, the belts are like, they're huge. And to be honest with you, I don't think the figures look that great either.
Give
me a second.
Are they still like, so wait, it's what's his name still the guy doing the figures?
Jeremy Padour?
Yeah. Okay.
It's very reminiscent of Jax, I feel like just, I mean, there's obviously way more detail, but there is just, I don't know, the repaints, like that's cool that they got different attire, but literally the figure is the same exact figure,
right?
In a 2-pack with a giant belt, just easy pass. But I assume you did not order either one.
No.
Well, I assume you did not order that. But
I just like, I want better for AEW.
I do too, man.
For their figures here.
Yeah.
I guess is why I'm laughing. It's just so bad. Like, come on. Like, I mean, Jeremy, I mean, he must be still just like, hey, I'm going to do it the exact same way I did like with WWE with the classics. And it's just like, but we've moved like, but you have competition now.
Right.
That is showing that, oh, wait, we can make the figure look better than it did with classics.
Yeah.
So now you have to raise your game.
Yep.
And I don't feel like he's doing that. He's like, no, I'm going to keep it like this.
My way.
And we're going to peg warm. And that's that.
Yep. And then we got some news outside of the wrestling world. McFarlane Toys Movie Maniacs Wave 1. These are 6-inch posed figures, so no articulation. You can't move them. McFarlane and Warner Brothers teaming up to celebrate 100 years of storytelling. This wave includes Harry Potter from the Goblet of Fire, Bugs Bunny as Superman, the Wicked Witch of the West from Wizard of Oz, and Ted Lasso. These are pretty good looking, but they're statues. They don't move or anything like that.
It's like the old sports picks.
Sports picks move though, didn't they? I'm pretty sure.
Nope.
No, they didn't. I thought you could move them, but maybe I think the arms moved at least. Because I know, like I have the Jason Veritek catcher one. I know I could move his arm up and down. Mm-hmm. I think that's the only one that I have.
This is a sports pick.
Yeah, you can't move his arms?
Nope.
Huh. Maybe it's only on some of them. Because I know one of the catcher ones that I have, you can move his arms. But these are just like statues. The Ted Lasso one looks cool though. Very tempting. Probably will not grab it, but very tempting. As I'm a huge
I'm getting it.
Ted Lasso mark now. Yeah. Very cool looking. But I wouldn't mind a line of Ted Lasso figures. Besides, I know they got Funkos, but who doesn't have Funkos?
Exactly.
And Mandalorian season 3 starts this week, right? Started yesterday, dropped the first episode. I did not indulge yet, but it looks good, man. I kind of want to watch like the last few episodes of season 2 and give myself a little refresher, and then we'll jump in. Dive right in head first. But
well, they usually do that recap too before.
That's true. I always like to give myself a little refresher. And then last thing, DJ, any weekly purchases this week?
No, I'm getting ready here. Because I really, because I'm gonna get a new, like I'm making it a thing. Like when I go to Mania, I get a title.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get a title. There are folks that have asked for T-shirts.
Are you going to WrestleCon, by the way? I meant to ask you that. Phil might hit you up for some autographs. Just Be prepared.
Okay.
He asked me. He said, "Who are you? Are you going to WrestleCon? Whose autographs are you getting?" And I said, "Not going to WrestleCon."
Right.
Even though
I see your boy there. Like I saw
I
Rick.
was gonna
Rick
say
signed up.
I saw that they added Ric Flair, but
So I might get a woo picture with him.
in a Sting shirt.
That would now you gave me an idea. And he'll do it because he loves Sting. So
Oh yeah, for sure. What we need you to do though is get some show intros while you're there. Just saying.
okay.
But yeah, I'm skipping WrestleCon, but one of my purchases of the week this week was my ticket to WrestleMania Night 1. So I am finally bit the bullet and bought it. I am in, I think section 228 is the section I'm in.
Okay.
I think I don't have it pulled up right here, but yeah, man, they dropped to like price that we were all comfortable with, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. 228. Yep, row 26.
Okay.
So now we got to find night 2. Night 2 is honestly, I think if we're sitting in that same tier, it's going to be like $500, man. It's crazy. The price of the tickets are just, hopefully they drop. We're not buying anything right away. We're kind of holding out to see if they drop, and they are trending in the dropping direction. So, are you guys
going to see the guy in the trench coat in the parking lot on night 2?
then we got to figure out Raw, because I think we're doing Raw that night, or we're definitely doing Raw on Monday night too. So, and then my only other weekly purchase was this guy here, Mr. America, man. Got him in the mail from here, not Heroes Hideout, fuck them, from Wrestling Collector Shop, and yeah, and he's amazing. This figure is amazing. You'll see in the unboxing, man. It is the detail on this figure that they decided to do. The detail on this figure is amazing. But I had to grab it.
That's
it's such
funny.
such a random Hogan highlight, I guess. I don't even know if you would call it a highlight, but
I mean, they're going with every Hogan.
I can't wait for that SummerSlam with the gas mask win. Yeah, and that was it, man. That's all I got for weekly purchases this week. Mine are getting slower too as we get closer to Mania. I'm really starting to slow it down, and even that was a pre-order. So, I haven't like gone out and like tried to buy anything recently. So, all right, what you watching this week, DJ?
All right, so you got Last of Us, you got Young Rock, Power Slap coming down to the last few people. I think I'm gonna try to get to see Creed here. Creed comes out this week.
Yep.
And then of course Mando. Like that's time to watch Mando now.
I gotta get into Mando, man. I gotta not get into it, but I gotta watch it. And then I've just been watching the NHL, man. That's really all I've been watching. Bruins making some moves this week. They just re-signed David Pastrnak for 9 years, 90 million, I think it was, or 8 years, 90 million, something like that. Literally today, as I was driving home from the doctor, I was like, "Oh shit, yes, let's go!" And but yeah, really just been busy and watching NHL. Kids hockey season's winding down, so he's got a state tournament next week, so we're all in on that. And yeah, just watching the NHL. I haven't really watched anything else, so. All right, time for quick show this week. Time for the run-in rundown. This is where we shout out our friends of the show and things like that and wrap things up. We got the Fig Cave podcast. Make sure you're listening to Nick and Phil every single week. They are we don't go full detail into the world of wrestling figures. We kind of just dabble and touch on it, and they go all in for a full hour. Conversations with Kenny, that is our boy Kenny Dinkins over at the Call Up. Make sure you're following him. Gorilla Brain Podcast, Pro Wrestling Podcast, Wrestling Collector Shop, Homage, and JJ Toys on Whatnot. And you can go to jjfigures.com every Friday on Whatnot. Make sure you're checking out their show. And of course, our boys over, they're not in the Bay, right? Barrios, they're like Sacramento.
Yes, in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Sacramento in the house.
You guys can follow us over everything you need is at runinpod.com, man. YouTube.com, where our subscribers are going up. YouTube.com/The Run-In Podcast. Twitter is at Run-In Podcast, and Instagram is at The Run-In Pod. Your turn.
All right. So come on over to come see me on Twitter and Instagram, Twitch with Fig Night27, FIGKNIGHT 27.
All right. That is it for this week's episode of the Run-In Podcast. Remember, get in on Patreon to get in on the Run-In Rumble Revolution. We're going to do that this weekend. My name's Tommy Paradise.
It's your boy DJ in parts unknown in Walnut Creek.
This has been episode 124 of the Run-In Podcast. Have a great weekend.